Good afternoon. It is Monday, January 3rd, 2022. I hope everyone had a good new year. Wishing you joy and prosperity in this new year. So today we really just had a range day. You can see these overnight highs and lows. We came down here, went a little bit past the overnight low, the measured move to the low side, and then we had this spike and channel up. And really what's looking like two legs up. The second leg looks larger than the first, as you can see there. So yeah, we'll take a look at these trades that I marked, and we won't waste time. And right at the open, it didn't look like we were in a trend higher, so I think you can take this. Oh wait, this was at 6 a.m. actually. First entry, failed second entry long. I think you can take this. Prices seem to have been ranging all night. You see this strong leg up followed by pretty strong sell-off. And this is clearly just congestion. Then you have this strong leg up and this sell-off into congestion down here. And that just fails. So I think you can take that. And we clearly had a level of resistance right about, or support, excuse me, support here, or was it here? Yeah, really here. And so when we bounce right here, we make this higher low. I don't like this just because there's not a lot of room back to the EMA. But I was waiting for a failure, and unfortunately, this signal bar is no good. And then we get a doji. So out of poor behavior, I entered long above this bar, but that definitely felt like a failure. So is it a good read? Yes, but I think just according to the rules, you can't enter that. If you did, you would have to go one tick above this bar, and your stop would have to go beneath this, but not sure you want to enter on this doji when it's looking slightly congested and you're taking it as a failure. But if you're patient, look, we come up here, get a first entry, and a failed second entry long, and I really like the way that sets up. And unfortunately, you do not get a runner here because it comes back up and stops you out. But yeah, I think actually, because I don't know, because I entered on the engulfing bar because we were only like less than 200 ticks away, and it was starting to look bearish. So I entered on the engulfing bar here. So matter of fact, you might have, because maybe this didn't trigger. I have a feeling this triggered though, and then stopped out all the runners, but maybe not. And unfortunately for me, that was the biggest move of the day. And all I got was like 2 points out of it, when you could have had a runner that got you like 17 points or something like that. And nothing in here. You see it rocket through the EMA to the high side after we break beneath the measured move. But unfortunately, no failed second entry short setups. Or do we? First entry. Yeah, this doesn't set up. Then I looked at this as a range. Here. But then it started to look like there was an upward bias. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to find this spike in channel until later on. But that was the prevailing level of support, was this spike in channel. So yes, it does look like we're ranging here. You can see this is an important level of resistance. You see it tested again over here and over here. We had a breakout that fails. So you could have played that. You could have played that range. But it'd just be tough because we had this huge leg down, and but we broke up into this range. So it was just a little difficult. But if you're reading it correctly, I do believe that you can take this trade as an aggressive entry because it confirms the trend channel to this low side, but it's really just, I mean, it is a failed second entry short, but it's pretty congestive. But I like that it's a higher low off the trend channel, and it closes above the EMA. So if you don't take that, you do get a first failed second entry short, and that was a good setup. But I think I wasn't able to see this as a spike in channel until later. So I think this is kind of advanced. We come up, we get a slight overshoot. That leads to some congestion and this break. I marked this because it's off the trend channel and it looks like a second entry long. You can see first entry, second entry. So you might have taken that. That brings us into this congestive area. And I looked at this as a first failed second entry short off the level of support. But it's in congestion. Why did I mark it blue? Not sure why I marked it blue. I would definitely mark this green as it's a failure in congestion. And I don't think you can take anything over here. We make a leg down and a second leg down. This looks like a second entry short as well as a failed second entry long, but that's just way too congestive, unfortunately. Here, so we have a second entry short here, and I took this on my practice account, but I'm not sure how I feel about this one. It did work out. It did get you a scalp, I believe. Let's double check that. Yeah, so that gets you a scalp. But just the way we're ranging, the way we're ranging, and we just made this higher low compared to this high. And the way we rocketed through the EMA, I don't think I can mark this, but it is a second entry short. Oh wow, never mind. And good thing I didn't mark it, because I'm seeing now that it's actually a first, second entry short, so it's actually a third entry short. But I did look at it as a second entry short, and I think looking at this now, that looks like one leg, first leg of correction. So maybe that was a good read, but not as beautiful as a setup as we'd like. So now I'm looking at this, and we see some like micro congestion right here. I do like this. I do like the way this sets up. It's like a first failed second entry short technically, but when you look at this, it kind of looks like a higher low off, like maybe first entry, like this was the first attempt to go lower, second attempt to go lower, and this is a really good signal bar. So I do like this as an aggressive entry. I do. Wait for that higher low. Yeah, so I do like that. So this is a third entry, but it looks like a trap to me. First entry, you got all these people probably going short, just expecting us to make a new low from here. And it's the only problem is this is a huge signal bar, so it's very high risk, but it just looks like a trap. Looks like we got two measured legs of correction. Yeah, pretty much. And then failure comes right here. That's clearly not a good setup, too far from the EMA. New low here, so first entry, another failure, too far from the EMA. Here we get a first entry, second entry long, but that's a bit away from the EMA, and we just had a break of the trend channel. So I don't think you can take that. This is a failure, but it's in congestion. I don't think you can take that. We get this slight overshoot. And I didn't see anything after this. You get a first entry, second entry right here, but it doesn't set up. We don't have this isn't the low of the swing. And again, right here, we have this congestion, so I'm expecting when it breaks out to the high side and then to the low side, I am expecting it to come back, but we didn't get a higher low to enter on. We got a first entry, failed second entry right here, but that looks like you're going into the highs of a congestion, a range, I should say. So just, I don't see anything there. So the trades I took today, we'll take a look. Unfortunately, a couple that I don't approve of. Yeah, right here, that's great that I'm reading the price action correctly, but we just didn't get a setup. This is the failure. It doesn't set up well, and that should really be the end of it. It does look like this is probably a trend channel. But yeah, it's no setup, so you just got to be patient. And here, I do like this entry when it ticked higher and then just shot on down. But yeah, you know what? Actually, I think you would have gotten a runner here if you entered correctly. 77.50. Yeah, you would have. So I take back what I said earlier. That's a great runner you get right there. Wow. And if I was just patient and entered instead of on the engulfing bar, you would have had a huge runner. So there's that. Let's see, what else did I take? And I went short here. Yeah, this is just poor behavior on a limit order. I must have took it like first entry, failed second entry, long combined with the second entry short, and I entered on a limit order. That's the only reason it hit. Else I would have gotten stopped out. We were trending up clearly for like 50 minutes at this point, so there was no reason I should be going short. Wait to go long. Wait until the price action says otherwise. So that's what I saw for today. I hope everyone had a good day. I'll be back tomorrow.